Yo,
Yo,
what is good, my boy? Ethan, we are back. Another episode of the Radicals podcast. It's Wednesday, February 17th. It's just going to be me and you today because Chris is in Dallas, and we know how Dallas is if you haven't been paying attention or you haven't been on social media in a while because you're doing a detox. There's a blackout out there right now in Dallas. It's been like that for like, what, 2-3 days now?
yep.
No heat, record low temperatures. I'm talking like 20s, 9s, 10s, like single digits. It's bad out there right now. They had a snowstorm, because they're in Dallas, so it ain't snow like that. But out there, 3 inches of snow will be the end of the world. So they hold it up though. That's all that matters.
Hopefully, we'll get Chris this coming week. We'll just pray for him.
Yeah, either Friday or maybe next week. But as long as he's safe, that's all that matters. But let's do our regular intro. I'm Daniel.
I'm Ethan, and let's just say Chris is here by spirit.
We're gonna be quoting Chris here and there anyway, so it is what it is. You feel me? Make sure everybody subscribes, like, comment.
Sure.
Ethan says, Ethan, you started out that raffle going on the Radical Souls Instagram page, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we have the PS5 raffle, and we're gonna have the Nintendo Switch raffle coming up. So stay tuned.
Word. I gotta hit you up on the side about that. I've been, dealing with my one-handedness. I got one more finger, but it is what it is. Anyway,
we had our fingers every week. Don't worry.
Yeah, word. We getting there slowly, but let's get into this, man. I want to talk NBA with you, E. Let's see how you feeling about this All-Star voting. It ended yesterday. We're gonna take a look, just briefly, at who we think the starters might be, reserves that deserve it, because we are doing fantasy basketball, so we do know off the top of our heads who deserves a little more than others. We got to talk some NFL rumors. We weren't here last week, but J.J. Watt got released, so we got to get into that a little bit. We saw Deshaun Watson apparently speak about some teams he might sign with or not sign with, not get traded. It's a mess, so we're going to break it down for the people. And, we'll start off with the lovely topic that we came up, of course, on the weekend of Valentine's Day, and something that Cardi B said.
It'll be funny when we talk about that.
Let's start off with that then. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it.
Yo, so I sent you guys. I don't remember if I sent it to you and Chris. I think it was both of you guys or you. Because it had to do with. All right. So long story short, Cardi B said some next level ish. She was out here wilding. She said, let me find the direct quote. She was talking about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was Sunday. Everybody, has different traditions, different ideologies. You doing anything for Valentine's Day, Ethan?
I flew my girl out to Florida, and we did a little something for the weekend. But I mean, sorry to say, but New Jersey weather today, so she enjoyed it.
I mean, at least you brought her down because that weather been wild out here. It hasn't been bad. I mean, it's in the 50s yesterday. It's a little nicer today, but we're gonna a snowstorm on Thursday. So, more shoveling for my family in the meantime. So, Cardi B said, yes, men do deserve to get gifts as well for Valentine's Day, but the gift have to be less expensive than the girl's gift. So if he buys you flowers, you buy him grass. How do you feel about that?
I don't think that's fair. Like, in my opinion, Valentine's Day and anniversaries are equal. I never saw it as one over the other. So flowers and grass, how do you even compare the two?
Yo, grass, fam. She's saying go to your front yard, pull a bunch of grass out, and just hand it to your boyfriend in a Ziploc bag. That's wild. But I like what Le'Veon Bell said in response to that, which Le'Veon Bell been out here on social media. I've been seeing him liking stuff and commenting all over the place. I'm like, all right, you out here right now. He said, I thought Valentine's Day was a time for love and romance, not about how expensive the gift is, but that lets you know where we at in the world today. I was like, yo, that is facts, son. You see people complaining and stuff all the time. Oh, my boyfriend he only got me flowers. And these celebrities getting Birkin bags and sneakers. I'm like, yo, listen to what you just said, celebrities. Homie could pay for our house right now if he wanted to. I'm over here thinking about, yo, should I order this food today? Because I need to last this week until this this money comes in, rolling along. Like I know
Exactly.
it should be like either A, y'all don't get each other gifts and you have to settle that, or B, a gift has meaning behind it. It don't matter what it is. I'm the type of person where you can give me a Jolly Rancher and I'm gonna be like, holy shit, it's a Jolly Rancher, like a Jolly Rancher, a single Jolly Rancher, and I'll be like, holy shit, it's a Jolly Rancher. Like I remember Ethan got me a Spider-Man shirt for Christmas. Yo, I fucking love that shirt. Sorry for cursing, but I just love the hell out of that shirt. And I've been dying to wear it, but this pandemic has screwed my plans up with that shirt. I've not been able to rock it. It's waiting there. I really started putting stuff together. One day I tried it on with like all my sneakers. I was like, all right, this works, this works, this works, this works. Like the Funko Pop you got me, the Gohan shit, like that. That's something dope, Like you knew I love Dragon Balls, and you saw Funko Pop, like yo, this nigga like Dragon Ball Z and Funko Pops. Here you go, and it's a meaningful gift. That's all, like some people just don't take that much to impress, and
And going same to you. I mean, you got me the Infinity shirt. I mean, I love that shirt to death. Like one of my favorite movies is Infinity, and then you got Thanos. Thanos is the best villain of all time, in my opinion. And going towards you, it's the meaningful that counts. I mean, not to go off topic, but I mean, like when it comes to friendship, I feel like it's easier, like to give gifts, in my opinion. But like when it comes to Valentine's Day, it's still equal. Like I'm not understanding why it goes that way. Why Cardi said that. Shout out to Le'Veon Bell for saying what he said.
yeah, I mean, like it goes down to the same thing though, because a relationship is a friendship, so there's got to be some meaning behind the gift. Like I'm not just gonna be like,
Exactly.
here's a bag just because it's Valentine's Day. Like nah, if you treated me like crap for the last month, I'm gonna be like, yo, you ain't getting nothing, and we gonna talk
Exactly.
about this. Like I'm not just like I've never understood about the holidays. Like oh yeah, it's Christmas, I gotta buy somebody a $400 bag where I don't love them. Like huh? What?
Nope.
We need Chris here, yo. Chris about to be a married man. He can give us that marriage counseling talk, but we just gonna have to, I guess, settle on that ideology
But
that we have.
we gotta wait on that his response this coming week or next week.
Word. We will ask him real quick, just see what he thinks. Speaking of love, me and you dearly, dearly love sports. So let's get into this. We both have a very strong love for basketball. And the All-Star game is a perfect way to see the love of basketball and all these different people and athletes and just different playing styles. So, Ethan, I'm going to ask you this. Who do you think is going to be the starters of this year's West and East All-Star game, even though they're going to be, moving pieces around later on? But who is the, like, potential starters from both sides?
Before I say my answer, I want people that are watching this comment below. Just stop the video, comment below. I want to see everybody starting to fight before I say anything. Before I ruin the opportunity. But going to the East, because I feel like the East is kind of weaker, my opinion. You got KD, either small forward, power forward, depending how they put him. Embiid. My preference, I want Ben Simmons there, but that's probably not going to happen.
Message
Bradley
no
Beal,
love.
right? Yo, Simmons get no love for that team, even though he's a beast. Bradley Beal, if he's not an All-Star, then I mean, we should just. I don't know. I don't think I can watch the NBA All-Star. Beal's not an All-Star in the East. Depending where KD goes, that power forward and small forward is really hard to say. Cause I don't know who in the East they have that's really. I mean, you can put Tatum, but like again, vice versa. Who's gonna be power forward? Who's gonna be small forward? In my preference, but either way, they're gonna get trashed by the West. Because you got Curry coming back, you got LeBron James, like he's 22. Um, you have so many stars. I mean, Luka, Jokic. There's too many. I don't know what they must have. Those are my four for definitely right now. I want to put Dame up there, but I don't know how the positions will work out. But it's hard in the
You know
West.
how it is at that point. Everybody wants to point anyways at All-Star Weekend, so it don't even really matter anymore. Like the point guard position, it's a position is a league now, so I feel like it don't even matter. And that's why they went with this format of the All-Star game now, where it's like, okay, we're just gonna pick the starters and then y'all draft who y'all want. Like,
But that's the thing. I feel like in the West, everybody can be a point guard. I mean, Jokic can be a point guard. Like, it don't even matter.
I mean, personally, I think it might be. So for the East, I got almost the same thing as you. Bradley Beal. Now I'm kind of hell bent on James Harden being a starter. Um, it's between him and Kyrie. I do think James Harden is going to win it though over Kyrie, especially after last night voting ended yesterday, so I don't think that game would even matter. But James Harden would have been like a really key piece of that Nets team. Honestly, like you could take away Kyrie, and I think they'll be fine with James Harden and KD more than KD and Kyrie, in my opinion.
I agree.
Um, then I mean, I'm gonna talk the realistic one, and then I'm gonna tell you my wished person I would start. I got Embiid, Giannis, and KD because those three have been amazing. But let me ask you this, because this is my dream scenario. Julius Randle sneaks into the starting lineup, which probably won't happen, but Ethan, you have him in fantasy basketball. You have him in the Radical Souls League that we have. Do you think that Julius Randle deserves to be a starter? We know he's going to be a reserve for sure, but do you think he deserves to be a starter?
If we're talking stats wise, he deserves to be a starter. I mean, fantasy wise, he's averaging 49 fantasy points per game. That's a first or second round pick. Like, he's up there in the East.
And you got him like in the fifth down, I remember. Because I remember I was going to draft him, but I was like, damn, I don't want to have three Knicks. I already had Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett. I was like, I don't want another Knick. And no one was taking him. Like, no one was taking Randall at all. He just kept falling and falling and falling throughout the round.
So that's like your sneaky East player. Like, let's just be tossed in there.
I saw a stat yesterday, and like I was like, "Yo, there's no way." Like I'm trying to find it. It was he's averaging more points than trying to remember. He's averaging. I know AD's in the graphic, and I think it was rebounds. I think he's averaging more rebounds than AD.
I
Trying to
believe it.
find the exact thing right now. Ah, here it is. He's averaging more rebounds per game than Embiid, more points per game than Anthony Davis, and he's averaging a higher 3-point percentage than Damian Lillard right now. Because
I
Damian Lillard, I
believe
think,
it.
is like at 38%, and Randall's at 40.
I 100% believe it.
Yeah, like the Knicks. I mean, let's pull the standings up while we talk about this real quick. Like the Knicks right now are in sixth place, and Randall is a huge reason why. Like he's been the biggest contributor to that, honestly.
I agree. And not for nothing, y'all might hit over 500.
Yeah, we play Orlando tonight at 7. So if we beat the Magic and the Pacers were to lose, we're gonna be 500. We can maybe slide up into like fifth place tonight or fourth place. I think the Pacers also play tonight. So Randall does deserve to be a starter. I don't think it's gonna happen. I know he's gonna make the reserves for sure. And if he doesn't, that is highway robbery.
I agree.
Then we go to the West. I got Kawhi, LeBron, Jokic, Dame Lillard, and Seth Curry, just like you. Like this, there's no arguing it.
But it's hard to argue who can get in there in the West.
Yeah, because the West is just so stacked to the point where it's like, like you just got to understand. But it is gonna suck seeing who gets snubbed from the West because the West is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
You got
I mean,
people in the West like Donovan Mitchell, who is leading the 23-5 Jazz. Like you got Devin Booker, 17-10 Suns. Like, well, what's your take right now?
honestly, look at these standings are insane. I mean, Jazz 23-5. I'm in disbelief.
Yeah, nobody expected that to go the way it's been going. Honestly, like it's been crazy to watch them. Just ever since the Knicks, like Austin Rivers smacked them up that first game, like the Jazz just said, "Nah, we ain't doing none of that. Like this ain't how we rocking out."
And going to the players that also deserve in the West. Now that I'm looking at it, I mean, you still have Kawhi, you still have Don Mitch, still got D Book. I know he's hurt, but you had AD. Like you have so many players in that standings right now.
So let me ask you this: looking at the 12 and 15 Pelicans, is Zion Williamson an All Star?
No, I'm not a believer. He's an all-star.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more deserving people. You got like De'Aaron Fox on the Kings, even though the Kings aren't that good. Um, like you said, Steph Curry. You got Jokic. You got Portland, you got Dame Lillard, you got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard from the Clippers, AD and LeBron on the Lakers. Rudy Gobert can even kind of squeak in, but that's questionable.
And
Uh,
not for nothing, although they're 7-21, I mean, you can still say Cat deserves to kind of be there a little bit.
yeah, I mean, the only thing that slowed him down was COVID. Before then, he was doing his thing. And they also
I
lost
agree.
D'Lo now, too. But I feel like that's going to be one of those people that now that D'Lo's out, people are going to look and be like, well, why wasn't he an all-star? And we're not even
Exactly.
talking about Luka because the 13 and 15 Mavs, shout out to them for losing all these games. I'm loving it with this pick. I just have to throw that in there. Um, he's an obvious one, and people are saying he should be a starter. So imagine that. Like, you really do like. I do think that Zion, some way, shape, or form, is going to squeak in because why not? And I still would make the argument that I'll put John Morant over him. Because John
I
Morant,
would too.
11 and 12. I mean, they got smacked last night by the Pelicans, but you can't fully blame them.
Honestly, this is a very hard choice. Now that I'm looking at the West, this is crazy.
Yo, I'm telling you, and if Booker don't make it, that's a problem because Booker's been on a tear too this year.
Not for nothing, I also think CP3 deserves it. I don't know why, but it's like he's been carrying that team well.
He's been doing his thing out there, man. He's been the heart and soul of that team. Without that, like they wouldn't be where they're at right now.
Exactly.
And you would know. I mean, you're a Thunder fan. You saw what he did to your team, and it's been a carrying effect. They're 11 and 16. You want to touch up on that real quick?
I mean, we got injuries left and right. It's just a young players playing, but like I said, I'll take it. All the draft picks, all the off season to do so, all these trade rumors that we'll get into later.
You want to get into the trade rumors a little bit now because I know the Knicks have a few trade rumors too. Matter of fact, let's talk about you because you have some people in fantasy that are getting sat out right now because of their situations with trades. You wanna go in on that a little bit?
And they're sitting Andre Drummond from the Cavs. They believe in Jarrett Allen more than this guy. And then you got on the opposite side, you got the Pistons. You got Blake Griffin, 75 mil contract, 2 years that they're trying to trade.
Yeah, the Pistons. If you're looking at the screen, 8 and 19. I mean, like you said, $75 million contract. Is anybody gonna take that?
I wouldn't. I think you just have to buy Blake out at that point if you really want him back on.
Especially knowing that if you're gonna trade for anybody, you could hit up the Knicks and be like, "Yo, we know that Julius Randle isn't available, but what would it take? Like, you're telling me you would take Blake Griffin over Randle? And if you say yes, go sit down. Look, pause the video, open a link, go watch Julius Randle this year, and look at Blake Griffin this year, and we'll talk.
Yep.
Same thing with Andre Drummond, right? Crazy con. It's like a 20 mil contract or something like that, right?
Something insane that I forgot.
And it's a 1 year deal. Like, I'm not sure. I heard they were like doing a mock trade with Bleacher Report with Andre Drummond to the Knicks. I'm like, why would we do that? Like, let me know why. Mitchell Robinson's hurt, cool, but like Nerlens Noel, you would know because he was on the Thunder. Nerlens Noel could hold it down for a little bit until your starting
Exactly.
center comes back.
Exactly.
Um,
And not for nothing, in my personal opinion, his best destination is Celtics or the Raptors, depending how he wants to go.
I think the Celtics, man, they need help in that middle. That their center play is terrible, and their point guard play has been very, very sporadic this year. You got
I
Kemba who
agree.
go off for 21 game, and then the next 3 games, I have him in fantasy, so I know. He'll score 7, 15, and that 15-point game will be like 3 for 15 shooting with like 6 free throws, and I'm like, wow, this is terrible. So the Celtics, I think, are gonna have to make that push. They're gonna need something like that, or maybe they hit up the Knicks or Randall, but I wouldn't give him to the Celtics. I don't need Randall dropping 50 on us on the Celtics. I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
So what are the Raptors doing though too? 'Cause I heard the Raptors are on sell mode with Kyle Lowry. I heard a rumor that they might try to move Pascal Siakam. Like, what's
I guess they don't believe in their team as much, like how it was built around, I'm guessing.
they're climbing
But
though? They're 13 and 15 now.
that's what I'm saying. Like Siakam's been killing it. And not for nothing, Fred's been killing it too. But I guess they want Laurie out of there for some odd reason.
Uh, yeah, I think Andre Drummond's probably going to the Celtics, and like you said, the Detroit Pistons are probably going to have to buy out Blake Griffin because Blake, he as great as he's been, dunking. This ain't a dunking league no more. Like that's a thing of the past.
Exactly.
Any other rumors you've heard
And
of?
John Collins, they're really trying to move him from the Hawks.
Yeah, he got dogged like, a few nights ago, about Monday night by Julius Randle. Yo, that dude's defense is terrible. He dropped a 44 piece on his head. That was
You
terrible.
can't have him. Yeah, you can't have a power forward just doing that to.
Who you think is going to trade for John Collins? I mean, John Collins is going to be a restricted free agent, so it's not as big of a risk as you would be trading for Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. But who do you think would maybe make that move? Same teams, Celtics.
If we're looking at the East, there, I would say Celtics too. They just put Tatum at the 3, Brown at the 2. Keep Kemba. If you get Drummond somehow, some way, I'll be a nice starting five. But weirdly, I want to see him on the Bulls. I don't know why. With Levine.
That wouldn't be a bad combo. Who would you give up though? Marketing? I mean, Marketing and John Collins are kind of.
I know they're kind of the same way. Martin keeps getting hurt. This is his second season. He's getting hurt, so it's kind of like hard to see him like develop into trying to be a star, but not quite there.
What about the Lakers? 'Cause I've heard the Lakers in a lot of rumors, and I'm like, how would they even be able to pull this off? Like, I heard them might be available for the Andre Drummond trade. I'm like, how? Like, where are you getting this money? What is going on?
The Lakers, I think, are trying to trade absolutely everybody they can and try to make a crazy team, but how are they doing it? I don't know. Like the cab, the everything. I don't know.
The only person I could see them trading for is John Collins because the restricted free agency, and they could probably give him like Kyle Kuzma in return. But like,
Drummond and Blake, I don't know. Yeah, I get someone for the low, I guess. I don't know.
let's talk about the biggest trade person that everybody's talking about. Even though this man has said many times, I do not want to go anywhere, and people still insist that he wants to get traded. Bradley Beal. How do you feel about the Bradley Beal stuff? Because I was getting into it with Ricky a few nights ago because me and Ricky were going back and forth during the Knicks game. And I was telling him, yo, I do not want to trade for Beal. I do not want to trade for Beal. How do you feel? Because your team is kind of in that same position of, you got a star and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You got picks. You got young players. You guys are obviously better suited than the Knicks, but would you trade for Beal? Like, aside from the basketball part, because we know he's a great player, but put your GM cap on of, let me think about what's good for the future.
I wouldn't trade for him. I would just wait it out. I don't think I'll be able to. I mean, he's fairly young, but to get traded to him, that contract, I don't see it. As a GM, I would not do it.
And you heard what they want. They said they want like 5 years of picks. It has to be like either 2 picks, 3 picks, and then the pick swaps. Like,
It has to be a Harden deal, and I don't think it's worth it.
nah, yeah, I can't, bro. And we got the mass picks and stuff, cool, but like, I'd rather see what we're gonna do with Randall first because I feel like that's the bigger priority. The Knicks look good, but let me put the GM cap on, like we said. A lot of people are like, yo, we gotta re-sign Randall, we gotta re-sign Randall. I'm like, I'll sign him back to the team option for sure, for sure. I'm not gonna let him walk this year, but like, if Obi Toppin, let's say, develops, because he's been developing kind of slow right now, but he's been picking it up a little bit with D Rose here now. Let's say that Obi Toppin next year can average 15, 7, and 3, right? And he's showing signs that he could pass the ball, rebound, and shoot. Does it really make sense to re-sign Julius Randle when Obi Toppin's doing the same thing that he can kind of do? And then you got the cap space for 2 superstars instead of signing Randle and then having to add the complementary piece to Randle?
I completely agree with you. I mean, Randall himself is having an amazing season, but sorry to say, it's the Knicks. Like, who else do you have as a go-to player other than him?
Quickly.
And yeah, quickly. He's still developing though. Next year is probably one of the biggest off seasons. You guys probably have the biggest cap space, I want to say.
Well,
And like you guys been planning the past 2 years, you guys did that 2-year signing with almost everybody. and then have the option to sign or look at the offseason. See who you can sign other than Randall.
Or let me ask you this, Ethan, because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm gonna be very biased. I'm in the New York area still. Since you're in Florida, you're a Thunder fan. There's not a lot of influences on you. Do you think the Knicks won that Porzingis trade if you give it a full reach outlook of everything that's happened? If you want me to give you the full breakdown of what I mean by everything that has happened.
Honestly, looking at how the Mavericks play, you guys definitely won that trade. Sad to say for the Mavs fans, but 13 and 15 with Luka and Porzingis. I mean, they thought Porzingis was gonna be like an all-star, superstar. Like he's not quite like that.
He's been that same injury prone, cool to have him on the court, bad when you don't have him on the court player that the Knicks traded away.
Exactly.
And if you look at what we got out of it, obviously people can be like, well, you guys did it for KD and Kyrie, and we got Randall. He's on the brink of being an all-star starter. If there was no COVID, I think he would have been a starter. Because all the fans in MSG would have been voting him in like crazy right now.
I agree.
Then you'd take Marcus Morris, who we traded to the Clippers, for a first-round pick and a pick swap. Obviously, the pick swap won't happen this year because the Clippers are going to have a better record than the Knicks, so it makes no sense. But we got Emmanuel Quickley out of that pick, and Emmanuel Quickley is a top 5 rookie of the year candidate right now.
Yep.
And he's barely playing. Like, he's just started hitting like the 20-something minute mark like the last week or two now. And LaMelo Ball is playing almost like 30 minutes a game, and unless I'm bugging out, is a little bit.
No, you're right. Actually, that's the crazy thing. LaMelo is up there in minutes.
Yeah, and he's almost averaging. He's averaging a little bit less, obviously, because the minutes and stuff. But when you put the statistic of per 36, whatever the hell, player efficiency rating 36, and per 36 minutes or whatever they call it, like he's almost averaging the same stuff as these top candidates. You got Dennis Smith Jr., who you traded for Derrick Rose, who has obviously shown a lot more signs of life than Dennis Smith Jr. And, you're able to get cap space, which I still feel like people need to look at as part of that Porzingis trade because thanks to that flexibility, we still have that cap space now to do stuff.
Exactly. I felt like it was so good that you guys didn't lose that cap space because, sad to say, the old Knicks would have signed someone for like a $200 million deal, 5 years.
Would have signed Elfrid Payton for a 4-year, $80 million contract.
Exactly. You guys are taking it step at a time, go through the draft picks, go through the cap space. You guys know how big this offseason is, so you guys get a perfect opportunity and trading away Porzingis, who's playing every other night because he's resting.
And it's funny because I still feel like this offseason isn't as crazy as next offseason because next offseason, where the real names are at, the Kyries, KDs, James Hardens, there's some options out there. So if they play a smart this offseason again, they might still carry on that cap space the next season and be a dangerous team, hopefully.
Exactly. So there's plenty of options other than keeping Porzingis, in my opinion.
Word. So let's talk about the James Harden deal too now, because we're a few games in. We've been watching. We've been lurking. I've been lurking. Been watching that like those creeps that lurk on their exes on Instagram and shit. Just there like the corner and shit, all watching the Nets and shit. How you feel about that trade now that we're weeks in?
I still have mixed feelings. I mean, Harden just dropped 37, I think, and 7 boards and 10 assists, I think, last game, and beat the Suns down 20. That's good, but
yeah, we're down by 20 at one point.
I was about to say I was down by 20. KD's not fully healthy. Kyrie keeps sitting out. And, they're signing good people, Miles Shumpert and Andre Roberson. But we're going to the trade. So, specifically the trade, I still don't like it.
Word. And we still don't even know what the picks turned into yet. And we still don't like it. So, and the Andre Roberson thing, we talk about that because I used to clown you in champs all the time about Andre Roberson. He's a shooting guard that can't shoot, bro. It's part of the John title. What does that do for the Nets? It gives you some defense off the bench, but what happens, let's say, when you're playing the Knicks, that the Knicks bench has been killing – what was it? Before the game on Monday against the Hawks, the Knicks' second unit since the Derrick Rose trade has been outscoring people by 70 points. So what happens when you play the Knicks and you got Amon Shumpert? Cool, you got defense, but scoring, he wasn't known for scoring. And Andre Roberson, cool, you got defense, but you're not known for scoring. And the Knicks play defense anyways too. So,
Maybe the Nets, that's all they're looking for. They're like, all right, we're tired of people scoring on us. Let's get some defense, and that's maybe exactly what they did.
but like, let's even look at the 76ers and the Celtics and their benches and the Bucks. Like those benches outscored the Nets bench right now, and that's a concern.
I agree. And that's the thing. It's 2 years. You only have these players for 2 years, and you give the future. Let's say 76ers, Lakers stay this way, and they kill them in the playoffs. Then what? All this for no reason?
Pretty much, especially if they can get clicking, because I feel like the 76ers still ain't even clicking because they lost Seth Curry. He's just coming back. He's still, like, dealing with the COVID stuff he's been saying, like, conditioning-wise. Ben Simmons, I mean, people are just shitting on Ben Simmons because he can't hit a three, but Ben Simmons is still Ben Simmons, like you were saying. And Embiid is looking like the MVP of the season. He's, like, top 5 in voting. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I still to this day I really can't agree with that trade.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, man. Maybe they'll sign Blake Griffin.
You never know. You never know.
That'll be the answer to all their problems, apparently.
As their center.
Oh God, yo, yeah, as their center, because they got DeAndre Jordan's injured right now too, right? Let's trade Jared Allen. That'd be a great idea. They should have just. I personally think they should just stay with their team.
Honestly, yeah, they should have kept Jared Allen. I think that was the killer point because that man is a beast in the paint. As a defender and the offensive mind, that man can do everything.
Word. And since we're talking about it, because I forgot to bring it up, Draymond Green, he came out and talked a little bit about how he feels about the two sides of a coin when it comes to being an NBA player in a trade. You know, he was talking about how James Harden got killed for requesting a trade. Not requesting, he demanded a trade, but you know, he did both. Doing that, he gets killed, but the front office is gonna say, "Yo, Andre Drummond, go put your street clothes on. You're not playing tonight," and the players can't do nothing. How you feel about that whole situation?
I feel so bad for the players because I mean they got incentives to hit, they got certain things in their contracts to, of course, have more money and everything. Just in general, like you're trying to win a chip, trying to be an all-star. You're out there playing 48 minutes a game. Like you're trying to do this for an organization. They're just like, go back there. Like, just stop playing. That's it. Like, kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, and I feel like that's been a whole thing with the NBA recent, like as of the last 4 or 5 years now, where you'll see people get benched, and not back then it used to be, yo, no, we're gonna bench you the week of the trade deadline. It's a week. We don't want you to get hurt. We can't take that risk. It's for the best for the both of. The trade deadline's like a month away, like month or like 2 3 weeks. No,
March
it's a month.
25th.
Yeah,
It's a
March
month.
25th. Yeah. So that's insanity. Oh yeah, we're gonna bench you until we can find a trade partner. Like nobody wanted him before. What makes you think just because you're benching him, we'll be like, oh yeah, he's benched now. Let me give you a pick. Like, no. Same thing with Blake Griffin. Like, you think about looking at that contract and know that you guys are gonna buy him out and be like, oh nah, because you're benching him now, I'm gonna give you 2 picks, knowing you're gonna bench him, like and cut him. Like, what? That was the same thing with Leonard Fournette.
Well, I feel like that's different because you did have a rookie running back, and Fournette I guess in their head he just wasn't it. But in basketball, I mean, just put Blake Griffin out there. Like, you play any position. Like, what are you doing out here that you're like 8-19 and you don't want to put Blake Griffin out there?
I never understood why they made that trade to begin with. Like, I felt like that was just everybody saw that trade and was like, okay.
It was pointless. In my opinion, it was pointless. Everybody in that Clippers team that was traded out, DJ and Blake Griffin, I just didn't understand it. Like, they only clicked because they were together.
Oh god, yo, it's NBA is a mess, man. And that's my fear with Randall. I'm like, yo, I don't want to trade Randall because I feel like players will see that and be like, oh, so he's playing like an all-star. Y'all take advantage of that and tell this kid to kick rocks. That's what we're doing. And never did that with Melo when Melo was out here playing sweat, blood, tears for New York, and Phil Jackson said, pack your shit, get out. Like that's what really went down. I feel like that's kind of like something that comes into players' heads. So I mean, how does the NBA fix this?
That's hard to say. Like, do you put a restriction on organizations to not say your players, or like, I don't know. I don't know how you would set it up a certain way that is fair for the players and organization, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I get why they do it. You know, once a player's injured, you can't trade them for the most part. Like players, it's kind of hard to trade an injured player because people are going to be like, "You think I'm gonna trade for this dude that just broke his ankle? Like I don't even know if he's going to be back in time for the playoffs." And that's the main reason I want him. And you got to build chemistry. I'm not going to put him out there and he can't even catch a LeBron pass because he ain't ready for it. Like, so I get it, but it's also like you said, the incentives. You know, like this person chose to sign with you. Well, he didn't even choose to sign with the Cavs. They traded him, so. But
Exactly.
still, you know, like it's the whole concept of just take care of the players. They're the ones doing the things for you.
Exactly. I agree.
Word. I mean, let's get into football now. Since we're talking about cutting people and trading people, and you know the way that the Texans handled the whole J.J. Watt thing. They just said, "Yo, we're gonna cut you," which I guess they had to. I don't know what the situation was that
I
was.
don't know how you can't trade for JJ Watt in the offseason. Like, you had time. It's not like the season starts tomorrow. But was he that unhappy, or was the organization just trying to, like, take more?
I don't know. I mean, the thing with J.J. Watt is he's owed money. Then he was hurt all that time, but like I don't understand why you couldn't trade him for like a fifth or fourth round pick because of J.J. Watt still. Like you're not
Exactly.
gonna get a first round pick. You might not get a second or a third, but I mean, you still find some gems in the fourth round. Like
Exactly.
it was weird. It was a weird situation. But who do you think he signs with? Just out of curiosity, you think he goes to a reunion with his brothers? You think he plays against his brothers on the Browns, like people have been saying? Maybe he comes to the
Now
Jets.
that now that you say that, I would love to see TJ and JJ Watt together. That'll be talked about for like years.
That'll be funny.
Um, but I, in my personal opinion, I love the Jets because that defensive line is already insane. So you throw him in there, that's probably top two, in my opinion. Um, but there's so many teams. Like you said, the Browns.
Yo, him and
I
Miles
mean,
Garrett. Oh my God.
that's disgusting. Even Washington, you put him with Chase Young. There's so many you can add him to that will just develop your team so well.
Maybe the Giants say, "Yo, F it, let's give it a shot." With that defensive line that they have, maybe the Bucks say, "Yo, we're gonna lose some people. Let's put a Band-Aid on this real quick."
Don't put in the Bucks hat. That'll be filthy.
Yo, him and JPP. Oh God.
Sue everybody. Wait, Devin Wade. Nah, that's just not fair.
Maybe Kansas City says, "Yo, here's a bag."
I don't see him at KC. Chris
Hmm.
Jones. I guess like I said, there's so many options. Like,
Yeah,
you see that we're just talking about this. Imagine being a Houston GM. Like, oh yeah, let's just release him. You know, no one's gonna want him.
no one's gonna want one of the best defensive linemen, you know, in the last 20 years.
I don't know. Whoever did that needs to be fired immediately.
We know who it was. It was the GM and the owner. That owner was wilding, and it's funny because now they're talking about we're not going to trade Deshaun Watson, but you'll release J.J. Watt. Like, let the kid go. Ethan, what's going on with that situation? Give some background on the Deshaun Watson situation for the people at home.
Watson wants out. Simple as that. Like, he
Hasn't made
just
it public though. Let's give him that defense. But
he in his mind he wants out of Houston. He doesn't want to throw that uniform on anymore. Um, supposedly, he
I know,
already
I
made
know what you're gonna say. Yeah,
his team accusations on where he wants to go. He wants to go to 49ers. He doesn't want to go to the Jets. Supposedly, it's just accusation. We're not saying he is,
I also heard the
but
Broncos were ahead of the Jets on that list, and when I saw that, I started reading. I was like, all right, if you really said that, I don't want you because you're bugging out.
exactly. So who knows what's gonna happen until it officially happens? But it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're hoarding the kid for what? Like, he don't want to be there. Are you waiting for him to go up to you guys and say, "I do not want to be here"? Like, get the hint already. Like, you're seeing all these reports. I mean, it happens all the time. Though. I'm not gonna lie with the fake reports of oh yeah, this person wants out. Like the whole Le'Veon Bell trade stuff that was going on last season, this season.
That's it.
He ended up getting released because we sucked for the most part. I know because I think if the Jets were a little bit better, probably would have stayed. But yeah, like it happens all the time. So maybe he doesn't want out. Maybe people just forcing the trade, like Bradley Beal.
I think he wants out.
I mean, we all do because of D Hop. Like they traded D Hop out and said, "Yo, you're one of the best wide receivers in the league." Nah, kick rocks, yo, you good. And they traded him for a bag of chips and David Johnson, like, it's what's it called? A war veteran, pretty much, because homie old as hell and he been through it. He broke his after breaking his arm. It's been a wrap. Like he has never been the same. And they threw in like a bag of chip pick. I think it was like a fourth round pick. Like it was something ridiculous.
And your wide receivers are Will Fuller.
Who's
I don't think Brandon Cook is probably staying there.
Will Fuller's a free agent now too, though. So
you about to throw the Kiki, and that's it.
Kiki Cutie and
Kenny Stills. That's it. That's your wide receivers. I don't know.
I can't even name a wide receiver. Like that's bad. I could name every other team wide receiver for the most part. You told me name a Texas receiver that isn't Kiki Cutie, and I might need to Google some stuff.
They might be worse than the Patriots at this point.
I mean, I know they got Neil, so I mean, or Neil. I don't know, something like that. Jason Myers, there you go. Julian Edelman.
There you go.
And then it was hurt. I forgot. But regardless, it's still bad down there in Texas. How do you feel about the Panthers' chances? I've heard that's a team that's been getting thrown around a lot.
I mean, I think I said this before. Him and CMC would be an amazing look. And you got Robbie Anderson, probably one of the most improved players last season. And you still got young players on that team, so that'd be a nice one.
Be honest, Ethan. You want to see him in a jet. You know that. You don't want to see him as a jet.
Honestly, I was rooting for him to be in the jet. But, I had to make them jokes, I had to make those Justin Field jokes, you guys going to draft him. You guys keep saying Donald, so who knows?
Oh, God. I mean, I don't even know what the Jets are going to do. I've been hearing a lot of Zach Wilson because you've been getting a lot of Patrick Mahomes comparisons. I personally want Justin Field. I kind of don't care about Zach Wilson too much. Am I bugging for that? Some people might say yes. But I've heard some people, look, don't shoot the messenger here. They said that he's ahead of Trevor Lawrence. I was like, yo, by all means, the Jaguars can take him, and we can get Trevor Lawrence for all I care. Like, however the cookie crumbles out here.
I mean, if that happens, I think that GM is going to get so much hatred. He can't do that. He can't do that. No, he should not do that.
Go for the short thing. I mean, it happened with Baker, though. Baker was supposed to be the number one overall pick, and he ended up going number one.
True, but Baker's not that good.
You think it's more about offensive, the coaching and the coordinators and stuff that have helped them out?
Yeah, I think I would believe for that to happen. Again, to put Trevor Lawrence has been talked about even since Joe Burrow. Like, there's like he's been known already to want to go to draft. And now that he's finally there, I mean,
he's been talked about since that first time he stepped on a football field in Clemson and won a national championship. Like,
there you go.
And it's crazy because I know you remember me saying that first year, yo, this kid will be a Jet. And we had the chance. And the Jets said, no, let's win some games. But, I'm not mad at that. It is what it is. Stuff in the past now. Can't change that. But, yeah, like, the GM does that. You think Jacksonville being in Florida is going to get burned down to the floor?
Oh, yeah, without that. I might have to, move a little further down to Miami and make sure I'm safe. Further away from Jacksonville.
Yo, you're bugging out. Anything? Have you heard anything about the Bengals? It's been real quiet for Cincinnati, unless I'm bugging. I don't know if you heard any rumors. AJ Green rumors.
Nothing. Honestly, I feel like this whole NFL has been nothing but rumors. Like, when's he supposed to get traded by now?
So yeah, something was supposed to happen, and nothing has happened yet. Like Sam Darnold hasn't gotten traded. Yeah, only had the Stafford and I forgot this
Jared
bum's
Goff.
name. Yeah, Jared Goff. I forgot that bum's name for a few seconds. You had like that.
No,
Who else? Drew. We don't even know if Drew Brees really retired. Like that was an assumption. He hasn't come out and said like I am retiring yet.
all we know is Phillip Rivers is retired. That's all we know.
Yeah, Russell Wilson apparently is gonna get traded.
Once, whoever's are
But
these reporters, please, like, I don't know, like, please confirm these, like, accusations, something, so we know.
yo, like then you got the Dak stuff, and people are like, yo, there's gonna be a Dak Prescott for the Deshaun Watson trade happening out here. Carson Wentz was being traded like 2 weeks ago.
At this point, LeBron's gonna play in the NFL. Like, that's what really come down to.
That's
Deion
that's
said,
that's the report I heard too. That's the funny part. That like he was supposed to try out a while ago, and he would have made it. That's
Deion said he was gonna come back. Like, anything's possible in the NFL this season.
I would like to see Ocho Cinco come back just 1 week out of boredom.
I want to see Terrell Owens come back. I'm not gonna lie.
Could we just have them both play each other one day, like just 1-on-1, and you just give them like Patrick Mahomes with a cannon of an arm and just say like here.
I mean, I would watch that for like a Pro Bowl. You just throw them both in there, like, yo, who can still catch better than other?
Nah, but you got to put Revis and Deion Sanders at the corners.
Ooh, I'll watch that. The old heads. I mean, they do that for like All-Star Weekend. Like they put the old heads out there sometimes.
Celebrity, yes, I mean they do it for the celebrity, but they used to do the Legends games and stuff. I don't know, bugging out back then for like
Yeah, like
baseball and basketball.
do that for Pro Bowl. Throw them old heads in there. You know, we'd love to see it. Throw
Yeah,
Calvin Johnson.
like a flag football game. There gotta be no like contact because we don't need nobody getting no
Exactly.
CTE out here. But
LT, Marshawn Lynch. We'd love to see that.
nah, don't put Calvin Johnson. You trying to kill somebody? What's wrong with you? You trying to get somebody killed, yo? What's good with you, bro? Calvin Johnson eats children. You know this. He's like Mike Tyson. I'm gonna eat his children.
I'm gonna stop with that talk.
But
That talk is. I'll stay quiet on that one.
Ethan, I guess we're gonna have to just wait and see, bro. Because football is just straight rumors. Basketball, we're gonna have to just plug and play for now.
Exactly.
Hopefully, Chris will be back with us soon. God knows. I don't know what's going on with the power. He don't know what's going on with the power. He just knows that
No one
that a
knows.
lot of people don't have power, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
So we'll be back tomorrow with sneaker review.
Yep.
And
Quick shout out. Michael Jordan's birthday's today. You know, the GOAT.
the GOAT, his birthday. I forgot all about his birthday today, honestly. I've been seeing it all over social media, and it's completely slipped my mind. Shout out to him. We'll talk about that on Reselling 101, though, because the GOAT's son kind of did something that needs to be talked about. We need to bring Marcus Jordan to the stand on Reselling 101/sneaker review because we had a major drop this weekend.
That. I'm excited.
So if you made it this far, now you know what tomorrow's about. If you didn't make it this far, try to do it next time. So until then, Ethan, I guess we'll just stay behind the scenes, hitting each other up and keeping each other up to date with some stuff.
Yes, sir. Hope for big news.
Facts. Hopefully a freaking NFL trade finally listen to these rumors.
Exactly.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace.